If a girl says size don't matter, she's lying. She's full of it. She wants at least a full 36 square kilometers to fully explore in an open world, and that's like a minimum. That's a minimum. Okay guys, so we are here to talk about the map size for Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4, and how big can we expect the map size to be? Now, of course, when talking about Spider-Man video games, I think the most famous one we can talk about is Spider-Man 2. That game had quite a nice size map as compared to other games around that time, and it was quite awesome to just be able to swing from the top to the bottom of New York without stopping. After that, Ultimate Spider-Man also had its own version of a free open New York. Unfortunately, this one was a bit smaller and truncated version of New York. And of course, as we move on into more modern games like the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, we see that New York, the playground for Spider-Man, is becoming more accurate to the actual size of the city. There are also plenty of games out there in recent years that have featured New York, or at least large parts of it, such as Grand Theft Auto 4, and one of my favorite games, honestly, in the last couple of years, which was Ubisoft's The Division. Unfortunately, all of these pale in comparison to what it's actually like to be in New York. Now, as many of you guys on CBC know, I go to New York every year and I absolutely love it there. It's a big city, there's something to see around every corner, there is so much ground to cover, and it's absolutely mind-boggling how many people are there on any given day. So trying to capture the size and scope of that in a video game is rather hard. But as someone on Twitter sent me a photo where they went through, or at least they got the photo, I'm not sure where, they kind of compared the actual scenes from the video game to real landmarks we can see in New York, and it kind of gives us an idea of how big we can expect the city to be. And having been there, like I said, multiple times in the last 7 years, a lot of these landmarks and buildings do look like they are going to be more to scale than what we've seen in any video game before, which I'm honestly really glad about. When you look at the most accurate game, I would definitely say The Division is probably the closest you can get to the real New York. Even though some things are a little bit off, and like, for example, going to the Jacob Jarvis Center where New York Comic Con is held, the building is there, but it definitely does not look the same. I am hoping, and by the look of it, since so many landmarks seem to be represented correctly, that we could possibly be getting that. So when people ask me, how big do I expect New York to be? Honestly, I'm expecting this game to be the most accurate representation of New York to date in a video game. And when you look at the team behind it and some of the open world games they made and how much into details they go, and how many of the landmarks line up with being accurately portrayed in size and scope, I definitely think that once we see the full open world, we're all going to be blown away. So hopefully that answers the questions for you guys.